Hey guys, greetings. It is a rainy Sunday afternoon. A good day maybe to get caught up on some UNCG coursework or maybe to take a nap. Wherever you are, hope you're having a great afternoon. This is ELC 684 summer session week 5. There are only 5 weeks in this course, so congratulations on making it to the final week of the course. Like I had said earlier, we're going to get through this together. So we're going to plow ahead with the final 2 topics for this course this evening. It's teacher evaluation and teacher retention. There's also a couple articles to read. There's a PowerPoint presentation. And so if you'll take some time to review those things and respond, that would be fantastic. I want to share with you just a couple of ideas. I know last week, if you watched the video, we talked a little bit about being motivated, what motivates you to do the work that you do, and how will you motivate others. We said that if you are motivated from within and you have passion and purpose in what you're doing, that is far greater than any monetary reward or any disciplinary action to get you to do great things. This week I just wanted to follow up and just another word of encouragement or ideas, reflections that I have. I believe that success is ultimately in the little things. Doing the little things right repeatedly over time is what ultimately leads individuals to success, whether it's in a classroom, whether it's a counselor, a testing coordinator, a principal, a superintendent, it doesn't matter. If you do the little things well, consistently, ultimately that will lead to success. So I've put some things in this week's presentation that I believe are little things in school administration that you might just want to reflect on. Little things like being visible at all times, in the hallway, in the car rider line, at bus duty, at ball games. Visibility is a little thing, but it has a remarkable impact on how people view you as a leader. Making sure to speak to each employee on a daily basis on something not school related. How was your weekend? How's your brother doing? How are things going with your planning for your vacation? Those kinds of things help as well. So I've listed some little things, and I think if you'll read through those, they'll make a whole lot of sense to you. So success is in the little things. All right, our 2 topics for this week. Teacher evaluation and teacher retention. The evaluation process in the PowerPoint presentation this week, there's some just nuts and bolts and logistics about evaluations in the state of North Carolina. Things such as what's the timeline, how do you make sure that everybody is signing off, how to give feedback, what the different domains are, the elements, all the things that teachers are evaluated on. So there's some logistics in there that you're probably pretty familiar with. But I also want to get you to practice doing an observation and then preparing comments for feedback with a teacher. So there's a video clip of a science teacher. I think it might be 4 or so minutes long. You're going to have an opportunity to watch him teach, and I'm going to ask you to give feedback on Standard 2, which is about the culture in the classroom and the relationships that he has with with students, and on Standard 4, which is his instructional presentation. Those are 2 really big standards that our teachers are evaluated on. And personally, whenever I sit down and have conversations with teachers here in this office or in their classroom, those are the 2 I spend the most time on. They're very visible. You can see how teachers interact with students. You can see how teachers interact with others and how their personal disposition impacts the learning environment. And then also Standard 4, you can certainly see the instructional strategies, the use of technology, the way they make the learning come alive for students. So I'm going to ask you to watch that video clip, and as you're watching, jot down comments that you would like to share with the teacher. Now this is an online course. When I teach this course face-to-face, we practice. We have the teacher and we have the administrator. We have them sit down and we go through the process of like a post-observation conference. You've all sat through them before, but maybe not on that side of the desk. So we'll have you just, I guess, practice on a spouse or something, or really just make some comments. And then, as you go through the PowerPoint, I'm going to give you a protocol, if you will, for how to give effective feedback. So often, evaluations are just about checking the boxes, getting the green check, sealing it up, and you may not even get a post-conference. You may just get an administrator that emails you that says, hey, I've shared your observation, sign off when you're ready, good job. But what I'm going to challenge you to do is to try to take note of the comments that you provide, and I want you to use something that we call low inference observations. The difference is high inference observations. So high inference would be you see something in the classroom and you make an inference about the impact that it has, and therefore you end up telling the teacher you did a good job of responding to that student's question. Well, what made it good? See, you're inferring a high amount. So I'm going to challenge you to have low inference notes and observations, so that way you can share it directly with the teacher and it has a greater impact. So the difference there would be low inference. You effectively responded to the student's question by probing, by having him look back into the text, and by asking him to check with a partner. That's a low inference. It gives the teacher much better feedback than just, hey, you did a good job with that student. So after you watch the clip, you'll have an opportunity just to practice that. And then later I have a 6-step process for giving effective feedback. The thing about feedback is you have to know who you're giving it to, because there's different types of teachers. Let's use the will-skill matrix. If you're familiar with the will-skill matrix, will is how much does that person want to do well? Are they open to new ideas? Are they willing to listen to comments? That's the will part, right? So we know people that have really high will. They're excited. They love being in school. They take everything you give them and they want to implement it. So will is one important factor. The other one is skill. Well, we like people that are high skill also. They're effective in the classroom. They're effective at interacting with students and parents. They're effective at all the different elements of the position. But unfortunately, not everybody is high will and high skill. Some people, for example, are really high skill. They're talented. They have the content knowledge. They're able, but they have really low will. So therefore, your feedback to them has got to be different than somebody who's high will, high skill. Now, you probably know some people like I do too that are really high will. They want to do great. They're excited. They come in every day smiling. Everybody loves them. But they're really low skill. So we have to give different types of feedback to that teacher to help them understand how they can improve their skill level and yet keep them motivated to do well in the classroom. So there's some information. That slide's actually up behind me. You probably can't see it, but it's embedded in the PowerPoint as well. And I want you to look at the different strategies for addressing the will-skill matrix. Okay, there's a couple of articles to read this week. One of them is entitled Evaluations That Help Teachers Learn. Another one is called Building Teacher Capacity. And there's a third called Teaching Up for Excellence. And the reason I give you that one, I want you to think about how you could use an article such as that as like a staff development opportunity to retain teachers, because one of the things that we know about retaining quality teachers is you need them to feel like they are growing in their current position. You need them to feel like they have ownership of the program. So I've also put some different recommendations about how to build teacher ownership or to retain quality people. First of all, you take care of your teachers. You try to be sure you give them some time, like to cover their planning or to cover their lunch. You hit them with all kind of school swag. You know, every now and then you give out an umbrella, you give them a new school shirt, you give them some comp time for when they stay after late tutoring. You try to build that appreciation component, but then also build their ownership. You try to put them on things like principal advisory councils, like, hey, I need a couple of teachers to just really give me feedback about some decisions. You try to empower them. You're doing such a great job with implementing this particular program. I'd like for you to share it with another grade level. Will you come to the next grade level meeting and share your ideas? So those are some ideas about how to be sure that teachers are appreciated and that they are empowered and that they are growing. So their third article is Teaching Up for Excellence. So lastly, I'm going to close this out. This will be the last video and the last comments for the course. I do enjoy teaching this course face-to-face a little bit more than online, because I can read, like, are you getting the content? Are you really experiencing what you need to experience about teacher evaluation and retention and teacher rights, all those things. But the final project is an HR project, and I've shared the outline with you. It's the largest project of the course, but I promise you, if you will follow the outline, if you will just follow that outline in your writing, use like bold headings when you move from teacher recruitment to teacher hiring, and use subheadings about what your plan is and how you would implement that, you're going to be just fine. You'll hit the page requirement, no problem. And then I want you to be sure to use some of the articles that have been provided, including the 3 from this week, as your sources, because you need to have a certain number of sources, and all that is included in the presentation or in the HR project. I think it was shared in last week's PowerPoint, so let me know if you have any questions on it. I hope you have enjoyed the course. I'll do a little bit of follow-up once we post final grades this week. If you have any questions, if you hit something in the project or in your HR plan that you're just stuck on, shoot me a text, send me an email, call me, whatever it is. I want to be sure to help you as you close out ELC 684. I hope you are enjoying the course, and look forward to getting back in touch with you after you turn in your final project, all right? So get in touch with me if you need anything between now and then. Thanks. Enjoy your afternoon and the rest of this week.